Tick tock, the bell's gonna ring. Marcus dance, it's a wild, wild swing. Gremlin with the final call. Chasing dreams before the curtain falls. Options rise, options fall. Risk it big and not at all. Closing playbook, flip the page. Endless numbers set the stage. Gains and losses side by side. Ride away the wave, don't fight the tide. Closing playbook, time to play. Grab your chance, seize the day.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to the closing playbook for Friday, October 24th. Happy end of the week, Friday to you. Welcome to everybody who's here for the first time. We're going to have a special closing playbook for you today with special guest Alex Reed. Let me bring him on. You ready, Alex? Hello, sir. How you doing?
I'm good, folks. How's everyone today?
Doing well.
It's been busy this week, hasn't it?
Yeah, you've been busy. I've been busy. Everybody's been busy.
I know.
Got a
Let's
pretty
see.
good day today, though, I think, in the market. And you closed out a whole bunch of winners today.
We did, man. Yeah. I don't know. People who are in the free ride, this is an open chat, so let people know how you did. Free ride scanner was popping off today. We closed out a grand total of. Let me look. So some of them from yesterday, little days swing trades. Closed out a grand total of sum that baby up 105% over all our
Nice.
trades today.
Double your money overnight.
One of them was a break even on KView.
I saw that. And, listen, if you have to have a break even every now and then, we'll let you go. We'll let you get away with that.
I appreciate it.
Let's see. So for
Dude,
those
Sammy, what? That's crazy. Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was just seeing what Sammy said. Made 5K today using this game.
Yeah, that's awesome. For Jack, if you're talking about Nathan's weekend trade, it is already out. Weekend options is already out. If you look in the members area, automated options and weekend options are both out already. So got both of those in there. Good
I
job.
love Colorado Springs, Sharita. You live on the west side or the east side? I got a buddy that lives out there. Yeah, Klein. This was one of the few days where Apple moved more than. There's only like 5 days in a year. On average, Apple moves 1% or more. Unfortunately, today was one of those days. Sucks. What's up, Nate?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, man.
Yeah, no one's been as busy as you this week. It's been a wild week, but it's been a lot of fun to see. I mean, that testimony channel we showed yesterday has been crazy. Again, super fun. The main reason that I came on, I'll let you run with some because I know you gotta get rolling here on the actual class side of things. I don't want to take anything away from that. The main reason that I wanted to jump on was to say that. Sorry, am I lagging? Is my audio lagged
You're
out?
good. No, you're
Okay.
good.
Yeah, you look good to me.
All right. It looks like
Well,
on the actual screen.
Don't
side.
compliment
Anyway,
his looks. That goes right to his head. Just say he sounds fine.
the main reason I came to say is that I hate Shotgun Thursday, and it's the worst. The SPY's up 1%. And I lost 3 out of my 4 trades, dude. What is going on?
I know. You think everything would be tracking with this amount of a move up. You're just like, come on.
Right.
Dude. So bad news.
Are we going to sunset that whole experiment?
Well, I have a whole new experiment, a whole new Thursday experiment that I'm going to start. So if it goes as well as Shotgun Thursday, then I'll lose half my money over the next 3 weeks. but hopefully it goes slightly better than that. Totally new idea on
Ooh, I'm excited.
on a Thursday
Well,
plan here.
I mean, there are a lot of people who've never been to Closing Playbook before and have no idea what you're talking about. So
Oh, it's just where I lose money in front of everyone for fun is mainly.
it's just
what,
experiments that Nathan likes to do out in the open in front of everybody that he doesn't know if they're going to work, and then we all find out together. And
Well, they should put it on the line,
to be honest, it's very brave of you, Nathan, to do that. It's very
Well,
brave.
I have a new idea. I'm going to figure out this one DTE thing. I'm telling you, I'm going to figure it out. There's something there. I already know that it works on the SPY. Like I have the data for that. So I want to kind of twist it a couple different ways because it's just so fun that it's one day where you can do it on stock. So anyway, all right, I will shut up. Alex, I know you've got your open house here to get rolling and a ton of people who are absolutely pumped about the free ride scanner, and I will not get in the way of that any longer.
Great. Well, so first off, how do I detach like this testimonials channel so I don't, reveal too much company info?
You right click it and you click open in a new window. If you can right click it from the main list, or you can open it and then on the right side there's like a little pop out. You got it?
Yeah, I'm right clicking, but it's not giving me that option.
So in the list on the left, if you click the name of it, you should be able to open in a new window.
No, I can't do that.
Or if you're in the channel, then the little three dots in the top right should have open in a new window.
Yeah, neither give me that option.
All right, which one do you want me to pop open the
yeah, can you pop it open? Can we just go through these real quick? Because
yeah.
So folks, I mean, like this is gonna be an open house. I appreciate Nate and Graham having me on here. This is in lieu of our masterclass for free ride scanner. We've been doing them every day since we launched this thing. And I just want to answer any questions people have, but I just real quick, people who don't have it yet. I knew this thing was solid, but I see the pin pod channel there, David.
Isn't that what you wanted?
Oh no, the testimonial channel.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, you're right. Sorry.
You're good. I also called you David. I'm sorry, Dave.
Oh, I don't care. Either one. Yeah, I thought my mom was about to scold me, but it's fine.
She came through for a second.
Yeah.
But
well, she's not dead. We don't need a seance.
No, I'm saying here she watches close.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
yeah, there you go.
Or we see it. So when I launched this thing, like I've been trading with it, I've been posting all the trades publicly on my Telegram since June. I knew it was good, but when you ever launch something, you always wonder, you're like, is it going to hit with people, other, regular traders, people who don't maybe do this full time? Are they going to be able to use it to its full effectiveness? And after launching it, so you're always a little, you're sweating a little bit when you launch something like this. You put so much work into it, you really hope it works. And I will say, I have been absolutely floored by some of the response, by all of the responses we've gotten from this thing. I mean, we can go through here. We got to zoom in a little bit, but Lester closed 3 free rides today. Jason paid for the scanner 2 times over in 3 days. We got Cheryl made $1,000 on Rig and $3,000 on Beyond. 100% record from Mark from Michigan on 21 trades so far using the free ride scanner. WBD 258% ROI in 2 days. Janet 95%. Bob 90%, 27%. 1,200 yesterday from Jim T on Sweet Green calls. Crystal, corrected herself. She made actually 700%, not 500%. And this is from these are dropped in yesterday. We have more. I mean, since we launched this thing on Sunday, we've been dropping them all in here. 2-year membership was paid for 3 flex, 14% flex, 30% flex, 23% stew, 20%, 18% up on flex. I'm dropping these all into a Google Doc, and I swear, ladies and gentlemen, it's a massive tome at this point. It's like 30 pages long with 11-point font of people using this thing. BYND 3,240 profit overnight, AMD 1K profit, Roslyn I mean, this is a crazy $650 in a day. Gold, that's like a 50% gain. 500% on Beyond Gold, another big gain for that. $156 from Faith, and she's been crushing it. Share $3,000. I mean, 26% on AMD. These go on and on and on. I mean, we're pinging so fast, man. $3,000 holding overnight, $1,200 in 33 minutes. I did not know.
We're still on Wednesday. Like, I haven't gone back past Wednesday.
Yeah,
of this week.
Yeah, this week. And I just want to say thank you to everyone for, I know, for taking the jump and using this. But when you see these like what people have been doing, I'm sure some of the names I've read off, you've seen this. It's crazy. Wow. And then I just got Crystal said the Clove went up 3,000% today. I'm floored by this, folks. I'm so floored. Thank you so much for taking the chance on this thing. And I just want to see the same amount of testimonials week in and week out coming in. So today, we could be, if we wanted to read every one of them, like I said, we would be here until 8 p.m. probably.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead.
What I think is so cool is people aren't just talking about how much they made on it. They're also like directly correlating it to like how many times they've paid for the program in week one. Right. I've seen so many people post like, I paid for it my first 2 trades, or I paid for 2 lifetime memberships today, and stuff like that. So it's like, not only is it, are they just making money in general, but like just the value of the program being paid for numerous times in week one, and week one wasn't even over yet when they posted it. It's like, obviously you should be charging more is what it comes down to, Alex, is you should be charging more.
Well, look, I like giving things to people for free. I mean, I was sending out all these free Telegram trades. I'm really happy. And some people are probably still on the 30-day free trial. But remember, if you upgrade before that trial period ends, you get 2 years of the Telegram alerts, 2 years of the scanner for less than it'll cost you just to upgrade at the end of that. So definitely do that. You can call in. We can drop the name. We can drop the number here. If you think, obviously, I think everybody should get 2 years of it for cheaper. But call in. But for all the people, for all the people who are here, who are using it, who have upgraded, we've been doing master classes every day. We've had a ton of people. Let's talk about what questions do you have about this? I want to make sure this experience is pristine for all of you, right? I want to make sure you're enjoying this, that you are having your questions answered, that it's all making sense, and you know how to use this puppy, because looking at those results people are getting, the more you know about it, the quicker you can accelerate, I think your own progress. So I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen over here so we can look at the scanner.
Yeah.
And then I can answer any questions you all have too. Did everybody see my trading view charts?
Nope, I didn't put it up yet.
Oh, cool. Okay, well, there we go. Thanks, man. So look at this SMCI put. So I didn't take this trade, but I did say, hey guys, this might be a good one. So these came in today. We were on profit panel, which I'm sure a lot of you were on as well. And so you'll remember this, right? I'm not fibbing. 2:42 p.m. The first one came in. Let's go to the 3-minute chart on SMCI. 2:42. Look where it's gone since then. I don't really know. I think you might be up like 20% at this point, just on a short day trade. Now it could keep on selling. You can hold it overnight. It doesn't have to be a day trade. I'm just saying that's how quick this stuff can happen with the free ride scanner. That's why it's so powerful. I just went on with Kane today, former, institutional trader. And we were talking about the mechanics of this thing, and he was jazzed. I just gave him a copy of this to use because it works in tandem with the way he trades too. I mean, this stuff is really cool. We're going to pull up the question of the chat here. So let's go. Let's go see some questions. So Chris has a good one. How is this different from Lance's penny option or news flow scanner? So I'm, maybe Dave has a bigger bird's eye view of this. I know the news flow scanner depends on news. I don't care about news. I don't care why SMCI starts selling off now, because that's not what the free ride scanner taps into is like a market based phenomenon. It's not based on news. So I can tell you that it's not news based. That's how it differs from the news flow scanner. From the penny options, I'm pretty sure I don't know specifically how he does that, but I do know that we get different hits on each scanner. So it's obviously functioning some different way, I believe, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. So the penny scanner, I think, is just strictly numerical. Like, I think he's just looking at certain, but I don't know the penny scanner particularly well. The news flow scanner is looking for certain things in the news, and he structures the trades differently too. So you're going to get different trades, and you're going to get them. You're going to execute them differently with each program. So I mean, they certainly go well together. You're not getting alerts from the news flow scanner. You can get alerts from Alex on this program. So that's another big difference. Of course, if you just get the scanner from Alex, then you just have a scanner either way. But if you want, you can get alerts. As far as I recall, other than joining him in like a live session, I don't think Lance is doing alerts on the scanner. I know it's not like part of the scanner program itself. So that's another difference.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
they're going to come up with different trades. They're going to be structured differently, and the alerts that you get from Alex are going to tell you exactly what to trade, when to buy it, when to get out of it, and stuff that isn't available on the news flow scanner, as far as I know.
I see Graham's in the chat. What's up, Graham?
Yeah, he's looking for dollar premiums on Lance's scanner. He said, "Thanks, Graham."
Oh, okay, cool. So a good question about some setups. So actually, let's go ahead and look at this Macy's trade that we took today, and I'll show you this in the scan. So a bunch of good questions actually. So go back down to when Macy's showed up. When did Macy's show up? It was before 2. It was this morning, right? Anybody trade Macy's today from the alerts and make some money? Just let people know in the chat so they can tether it to real people doing this. Let me know if you yeah, Matt, iron is expensive. I've seen that come up multiple times. It used to be way cheaper. So yeah, Bernie, we're gonna answer all these great questions. I wish we could like bookmark these questions. So okay, so M came up at 10:30, right? And I sent out the alert in Telegram. I can pull up Telegram just so you can see the alert that I sent out. All right, so take a look at this.
You can bookmark them by pinning them if you want.
Oh, can I? Okay, well now I've already lost them, but I think I kind of remember the general gist of most of them. So
I can kind of run down if you need.
Yeah, if you see any like good ones, is there some about like technical entry setups, orders like 1 or 3? Those are the ones I kind of want to answer on this call.
Okay.
Or on this open house. So if you see any, just like let me know about those if you don't mind. All right, so take a look at this. So this is my Telegram. So people saying they didn't see the M alert. I'm not sure. Look at this. 10:41. Okay, so we got you see here 10:27. The first M1 came in 10:27 and 10:27. So 3 basically hitting it all at the same time. That is a really, really good structure to see. This is what I call a block order. I know that block orders can mean different things in the options market, especially with unusual flows. But for this purposes, because it's the best way to describe it for me, when I see 3, 2, 3, multiple orders at the same time, hitting around the same time, I call that a block order. So I saw these come in, right, at 10:27. Now you'll see here, I said at 10:41, so about 13 minutes later, I said tee up M, right? Now people are asking me, how do you know what to trade? And that's what's so cool about the scanner. I don't do the guesswork, right? This scanner shows you basically the exact options contract that smart money, big money, is pressing the gas pedal down on. They're going to try and force the market makers to push the share price towards this strike. So when you see the strike on the scanner, you don't have to think about what, you don't have to like debate, oh, which contract should I choose? It tells you right there. In this instance, it was the 1850 strike put on Macy's for October 31st. So that's the next week's expiration, right? Now, I sent this out in the Telegram channel. I said, tee it up, because I wanted to see if it was going to, now I'm going to get into it when I enter. So that was at 1041. Let's scroll down here, right here, at 1136. Actually took like a little bit of an hour to see it, to see what I wanted to see on M. I said enter M at 27 to 28 cents. So let's go over here, pull up this chart. So I said that at 1041, right? Or sorry, I saw that I said I entered M at 1136. So this is what I'm looking for. We'll go to the 3-minute chart here on M, because I usually I'll use I have a whole module in the member portal about what I do for these trades, how to read the scanner. Has anybody gone through that module? Let me know if you went on the module and watched it and learned something from it, because ultimately I want you to become better traders. I want you to learn how to use this thing effectively. If you go through the modules, you will learn stuff. I promise you. So let me know in the chat if you've gotten in, if you've gone through those modules and you learned something. But okay, so 11:36. So here, okay, so now look at this. I use moving average pretty much exclusively for technical analysis. I'll use a little bit of these just like support and resistance lines, these horizontal lines. And in all honesty, the fact that we had a nice little push and then a rebound. So look at this push. We pushed above like yesterday's near time high, and then we rejected it. Honestly, I didn't execute this trade perfectly, but that's why this scanner is so cool. You don't have to execute the trade perfectly, and you're rarely going to execute a trade perfectly. I should have gotten in here at 11:09. Instead, I wanted more confirmation, right? So I wanted to be able to deliver, we launched this on Sunday. I'm trying to deliver as many winners as I can for new folks. I'm always trying to deliver winners, but especially on this first week of launch, I want them to be able to win. So at 11, I waited until 11:36. So when we peaked below this 20 moving average, 20 period EMA is what I use. When we peaked below that at 11:36, look at this. I sent out the alert at 11:36. Come back to the chart. I sent out, this is when it peaked below the, at 11:36, that 3-minute period. It's when it peaked below the 20 moving average. So that meant we had a lot of good selling pressure happening on Macy's. We ran this thing down to here. We got out 18% gain. But man, I wish we hadn't, because look what that puppy has done for the rest of the day. That 18% gain, I think it would be about, we can look at what it would be, we can actually look at the contract that we traded. So remember, it was the 31st put. Let's go ahead and open this up. 31st put, 18.5. Look at this. It's now at 36, basically probably 35. You probably get 34 to 35 for it, right? That's what it's trading at now. You can see what my scanner is showing. Found the exact options contract that smart money is pressing the gas pedal on. So, and we got out at, what was my exit alert on Telegram? 32. So maybe a 25% or, 30% winner. Have to do the math. But even if you had missed the alert, even if we got in late, we didn't even execute this trade perfectly. Should have gotten in here, right? We got in here instead. Should have held. Doesn't matter. We got 18%. That's the power of it. That's because we're twisting the arm of a very important person in the market. And you all know who's in already and using this thing, who that big player is. But for the folks who don't, we'll teach you that in a second here. But let's see.
I've got a few questions for you,
Yeah.
and a couple I can answer real quick for people. So just on the procedural side, or on the membership side, I should say, for those of you that are saying you just don't know how to take these trades, you need to go into the members area and you need to watch the training. There are people coming into this that are brand new. There are people coming in who have been trading for a while, that have been trading this way for a while. So everybody has a different level of knowledge coming in. All the training is in there. It's in the members area for you, but you have to watch it. You have to go take it. That, and there are master classes being held almost every day at this point by Alex that are live, where you can, once you've watched the training, you then go to the master class and ask your questions. To come in here and expect like full top to bottom on how to do this is a little bit too much of an ask. We're here to answer questions once you've watched the training. The training was already recorded for you, and several master classes have already been recorded for you. So start with what's recorded and then come to the sessions like this and ask your remaining questions, because there's just not enough time to go top to bottom on how options work, how the market works, how to do the program, how to use a scanner. We just can't do all that right here. Now, as far as the one person asking about how to track your trades, the trade tracker is for just tracking how well your closed trades did. To track your trades that are still open and in progress, that's your broker platform. That's on them to do for you, and you to do in your broker platform. We're not going to know which trades you took and where you got in and where you got out. So that's on you to do with your broker platform. And then you can use that template to track them to see how well you did. Of course, the trade tracker that's in the members area is to show you how well Alex is doing based on when he gets in and when he gets out. You may have gotten in or out at a slightly better or slightly worse or whatever. Okay. So we've got several questions for you, Alex, about whether you are taking most of your trades after you just see the first one or after you see a block, or should they always wait for a block?
Right. So again, all this is in the training modules, but it is an important point. So there's two types of order flows I look for. So let's look at SMCI, because we can just get a nice clean view on SMCI, which is also, is it still selling off? Oh my Lord, man, I should have taken that actually. That's crazy. So look at this. This is a block order. So this is like 4 orders. They all came in within a minute of each other, 242 and 243. They're all at the same strike, $48, puts, all the same direction. And they're all for October 31st, the same expiration. If let's play a little mind, this is a block order. So this is a high conviction trade. And this is a higher conviction trade than the other type of order called a follow-through order. But this is partially why I think SMCI just sold off with such abandon, because it was such a high conviction trade, right? Now let's say you saw something come up, you saw SMCI, you just saw one of these come in. So when you type in SMCI, you see it's one. There's not, these other 3 don't exist yet, but you just see one. Let's say you think SMCI actually is going to go down. Okay, you enter the position again, copying, not literally copying and pasting, but just taking the exact contract that's listed out here, the exact strike, put at that expiration. No guesswork required for this puppy, right? And then now you're in the trade. And, SMCI, it's going down, but it's going up, right? Now it's recovering. You're like, maybe I should get out. So you flip back to the scanner just to take one more look. Now you see, wait, these 2 orders flowed in. Okay. Why, if SMCI is going up, why are these 2 orders coming in right now? So you're like, maybe I stay in the trade. Then you see this order come in. So this is a follow-through order. This is when you enter a position with just one flow displayed. But then while you're in the position, you see 3, 4, 5, X, 6 or more additional flows start to come in on the ticker. That's when you know that actually you're probably in a pretty good position. And honestly, you would have when you do follow-through orders, you're probably going to get a little better of an entry because you're not waiting for all of this stuff. Because the minute this stuff starts happening, typically, you can see literally down to the minute, 240, 243 it started selling off here on SMCI. Now, if you would, let's say this was like 240, right? You got in here at 240. Well, now you already captured this move. So waiting for a follow through order or just entering when you see one and then confirming with multiple orders coming in after you're in the position will give you a better, usually give you a better entry, but it is riskier. It's going to be a little riskier, a little lower conviction because, while one order is great, all of these orders are even better. It just stacks on the probability that this trade is actually going to work out. So yeah, it might be a little more chaotic at the start. You look for those market is closed. You look for those orders at to follow through after you're in the position though, and then you can be confident that the trade is going to work out in your favor. And then of course, if you see when you see the block order come in, right, it's gonna be higher conviction, but you may be getting a little late, just a little bit into the trade. So it's kind of up to you how you want to do it. But those are the two types of orders that you can use.
Awesome.
Good. Okay, Ron's saying that's good to know. So okay,
right.
glad that kind of clarifies some things for you.
Is there any way to know whether something is going to be an overnight play or a day trade? A couple of people asked.
Yeah, so
and
that's
I know you can pretty much hold most of them overnight either way, but
yeah. So you can pretty much hold all of these overnight. You going into the weekend for SMCI, I probably would have wanted to get out of this before the weekend hits because it's a long period of time for tweets to be tweeted or stuff to happen. So, but if you're like on a Tuesday, right, and you're wondering, I personally, my style is I like to get consistent, maybe smaller digit wins. But when I say, I mean 20, 16, 18%, 50%, I'm okay with that intraday. But again, my bigger winners, 502% on CoreWeave, 109% on Poet, other stuff like that. Most of those come overnight. So because the way that these work, and you'll see how it works in a second here. But a lot of movement can still happen overnight in the direction of these. These are like the starting bets. And these can push the price either direction to the upside or the downside over like a 24-hour period. So if you do hold overnight to avoid the PDT rule, the pattern day trading rule, know that your gains will likely, if it works out, will be larger than mine. For instance, we got like a 16% on open yesterday, just trading this crappy little price action. We got it. We got in like right here, we followed it up, got a little bit of a retracement, got 16%. If you had held open overnight, look where you would be today. I mean, you would have had like a multi-bagger, 200, 300% on this one. So it's up to you. But again, open came in. I think some people traded open, maybe some people in this chat. If you did trade open, again, just to like illustrate this for people, let me know. But you could have held it, avoided the PDT rule, made out better than me, much better than my 16% winner on this. Overnight on Friday, it really depends, I mean, generally, I personally I just kind of want to close most of my positions out, especially my directional like calls and puts by Friday. I don't want to go into the weekend thinking about them all the time because I want to enjoy my weekends. But it's up to you.
All right. So there are a few people saying they're not getting alerts. So let me just clarify for all of you. If you got the 30-day free and that's all you did, you won't be getting alerts. Alex made it very clear in the presentations that the 30-day free trial is just the scanner. If you upgrade to the 2-year of the scanner, you then get 2 years of alerts along with it. And then if you upgrade that to the VIP, you get lifetime of both things also. But if you just have the free 30 days, you have the scanner, you have access to all the training, and you have access to the live master classes. That's where Alex will teach you how to take these trades on your own. But if you want to get the alerts from Alex on the ones he's taking, then you need to upgrade to the paid version of it, the 2-year of both the alerts and the scanner being kind of the lowest level of membership right now. So if you are a paid member and you're still not getting alerts, you need to go into the members area for the alerts. In the members area, there's a section for the scanner. The Telegram in there is Alex's general Telegram. And then there's a section for the alerts. The Telegram in there is the special channel that's just for people who have the alerts. That's where you'll get them. The only place to get the alerts is in the alerts Telegram channel in the alerts section of the members area. All right. Question about filtering. So somebody asked if they should filter mainly by top volume when they're looking at it on their own. I know this is covered in the training, but
yeah, I would recommend. Yeah, I mean, so the volume metric you see here. So we get a lot of questions. Again, I'm taking this out. This is not being pulled from the database, right? Don't worry about this number. I never even look at it, which is why when I launched it, I had like, you ever see those when you're reading and someone mistypes and they'll duplicate the word in a sentence, but you don't even notice that word is duplicated because your brain is like, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, yeah. It'll say "and" at the end of one line and then "and" again at the beginning of the next line.
Yeah, yeah. So I you don't see it, and I've been trading the scanner for so much, and
you just became blind to it.
I just became blind to it. I'm gonna pull this out. We're gonna do an update here shortly. I'm gonna pull this out because people ask me about this. It's not pulling right from the database, and I never even look at it anyways, and it's confusing people. Don't worry about this number. Really, what you want to be looking at, I'm looking at the sweet spot of this volume spike here. This is the 2.3x spike, 2.6x spike, 6.9x spike. When these spikes happen, that's a volume spike over open interest. Now, volume, if we pull up here on this, we can pull up this option chain for M. This volume spike, right? So this is on yesterday. It's all the open interest is basically volume from the last session. So if it's Friday today, this is volume from Thursday, right? If it was Monday, it would be volume from Friday. This is the last session's volume. There was no interest in Macy's yesterday at this strike. I mean, 515 contracts. It was getting squeezed. Macy's, I don't know if it was part of the meme squeeze at the beginning of the week. We actually traded Macy's to the upside on Monday. And we followed it back down to the downside today. So 2 Macy's trades this week. But look at this. Massive volume came in. No interest basically on this yesterday. No, in terms of interest. When I say interest, I mean like nobody was really down to trade it yesterday. They were like, nah, yeah, whatever. But today, lots of people were very interested. Smart money. This is not me and you. At least I don't think it's you. Maybe we got some high rollers in here. But smart money was very interested in trading this one. That's why this volume spike, 5,000, almost 6,000 contracts versus the 515 yesterday, right? That means they were opening up positions. They wanted to push the price of Macy's down, and look where it went today. I mean, it's, just down, right? I mean, from a little bit of a move up, but when those flows started coming in on Macy's right here, it just went down, 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 basically all day. So the volume spike, it's a relative metric. It's not an absolute metric. And what I mean is that it's always taking the volume spike on a particular ticker from the previous period. So, if NVIDIA's was, whatever, how many contracts yesterday, it's always relative. If it was 50,000 contracts yesterday, now it's 193,000. This is relative to that 50,000 yesterday. So you're looking for those spikes. And then you want to look at accumulated.
Let me just interrupt you because there were 1 or 2 people who asked, well, what if it's just one order and it's this number of contracts or whatever? So folks, just keep in mind, we're talking about percentage difference from the day before, and every ticker has totally different history of volume. So a 3,000 contract move could be huge for one ticker and meaningless for the next ticker. So you need to look at how much of a move it is or how much of a difference it is from the day before.
Absolutely. No. So, yeah, absolutely. It's all relative. And I look at this volume too, because again, the more contracts that come in, the more that, a certain market player is forced to hedge their positions, which is what the mechanics of what pushes the price up or down for us. If it's on the call side, up, and if it's on the downside, down. So, but again, it kind of depends on the stock. Sometimes you'll see 500 come through here. I don't know if I can find a good example. Wow, lots of late day bets being placed on LAC. Like, look at that. Tons of stuff on LAC. But sometimes 500, if it only ever trades 5, like for instance, yesterday we had a ton of people make money on Flex. Nobody's heard it. I don't even know what Flex is, man. I've never heard of it. It's hardly ever traded. But the volume was 700, but like the previous day was like 5. It was like maybe like or 20. It was like some like double digit number. It was under 100 the previous day, but it was 700. That was a huge spike in Flex, and it ended up paying people like got some 30%. People made 30%, 20%, a couple $100 on it. So it really this yeah, I'd love to see thousands of contracts for something like LAC. That's great, but it is all tethered to relative value, right? Does that make sense?
Makes sense to me. Russ, when Alex talks about a block, he's talking about seeing it come up multiple times on the scanner, not like one alert on the scanner is not a block unto itself. It's obviously if it's coming up on the scanner, it's a large block of trades. You could say it's the word block can be used a number of different ways. It's obviously a large block of trades or contracts rather, in order to come up on the scanner. But when Alex talks about seeing a block of them, he's talking about seeing, for example, we're looking on the screen right now for let's say AMD. You're going to see AMD come up, and then IRBT might come up, but then AMD comes up again, and then AMD comes up a third time, and that's what he means by a block.
And then if you have orders, and if you're on this main screen, right, you're on the accumulated tab. Obviously, we have 414 flows, but you see something that looks interesting, it catches your eye. All you got to do is type it into that ticker into the search bar, and it'll only display the flows for that ticker. So SMCI, it's only showing SMCI. NVIDIA, it's only showing NVIDIA.
Paul's talking about them disappearing. Can you just show the current versus accumulated again, the tab at the top?
Sure. So current is when there's 2 tabs here. Current is like the minute they hit from the API, the stream, the data streams that we call with the program. It's going to be shunted into current. But I just recommend sticking on accumulated because the delay between it landing in current and going into accumulated is like 10 seconds. So there's really, and this gives you, the accumulated gives you a more bird's eye view of things. Current, you're only ever going to see, 1 to 2 because it gets shunted into accumulated so fast. You only ever see 1 to 2 orders, and you can't search it because after they get shunted over to accumulated, they come out of current. Accumulated gives you the bird's eye view. You can see general stuff. You can see, all the stuff that's been hit today, has pinged the scanner today. And also on accumulated tab, again, you'll be able to search for the tickers and see the whole history of the order flow for the entire day.
All right, a few more questions here. Chris asked if you were in the free ride scanner in the morning and it says 3x spike, does that mean the volume so far that day is 3 times the total volume of the previous day, or the volume of the previous day up to the same time we're at today?
No, it's 3x spike over the whole previous day. And remember, it's only a 3x spike for that particular contract. A 2.3x spike for NVIDIA 190 calls on October 31st, 2025. That is it tells you the volume spike per this contract. It's not overall volume on NVIDIA because I don't care about that. I want to know the exact contracts. Smart money is basically putting the gas pedal on, right? And that's what this shows me, this scanner and this spike, and it's all relative to that particular contract. Because you may be thinking NVIDIA is going up, and this is the problem with options trading in general, which I think that the scanner goes a long ways towards helping you out with. You can do all the technical analysis you want on SMCI. It's crossing below the 9 and the 20. But what contract do you trade? It's hard to figure out because you could trade, depending on the contract, maybe it's a little too far out of the money. Maybe you get crushed a little more by theta. Maybe you get, the delta is not exactly perfect, right? But with the scanner, you don't have to worry about doing that, thinking on your own, because these contracts are what the smart money is doing. I don't know anybody here in this webinar, certainly not me, who can drop, buy up 193,000 or more of NVIDIA. But there are people who can do that, the big money. So that's what this shows you.
Cool. Let's see.
What else?
Does the nearness of the expiration date add weight to the spike? In other words, if I understand that correctly, if the expiration on the trade is near very short term compared to a longer, further one out, does it hold more weight?
It does. Yeah, because, and we're going to explain why that is, but basically the closer we get to expiration, so for these, let's look at some 20, what did we trade today? That was $24 or 24th October. We only traded 31 October, but usually 14 days is the sweet spot. So 31 October is fine. But when you have nearer expiration date, it's going to force the mechanism of why these trades work gets shifted into overtime, because very big people are going to be forced basically to rebalance their positions at a faster and faster rate as expiration approaches, or else they are on the hook for a ton of money when that expiration hits. So sometimes you will see some way out, December 19th or something. It's not going to be as great of a trade as something like on October 1st or like Tesla October 24th. This is a Tesla October 31st or something, right? Because that's closer to expiration. That means the people that basically we're trying to twist their arm are on the hook for a lot more money, a lot faster if things go against them. And they don't want that. They don't want to lose $100 million on a Friday and then have to go home and tell their boss or their wife that they, have been fired. So when it gets closer to expiration, that makes the moves on this a lot quicker and sharper.
Here's a question from Evan. When checking the put call skew, if the total open interest is equal for calls and puts, but the volume for the day is way outsized compared to the puts, that's still high conviction, right? In other words, if there's open interest on both sides, but only high volume on one side, is that considered high conviction?
Yes. I recommend when you come up here and you look at, again, look at this options chain on M. Something that's in the modules, the training modules, is you do want to look at the put call ratio. So we saw a ton of volume coming in on M today. Now there's some here, but it's overwhelmingly on the put side, right? So, and oftentimes really high conviction trades. I mean, I would say this is a pretty high conviction trade. Sometimes they'll be so overwhelmingly, like people who traded beyond this week would have seen this. People who traded Flex, for instance, there was nothing on Flex on the put side. It was all call volume. But if you see, if you see 5,000 contracts here, 3,000 here, 2,000 over here, at this different strike, if you see another 1,500, if it's a pretty even put call ratio, not saying it won't work out. I'm just saying it's a lower conviction trade. But when you see like way overwhelmingly more volume on either the put or the call side, that is a higher conviction trade. That means basically there is no bets to the opposite side. And so that move is probably going to be pretty high conviction. And don't forget, you're looking at volume. I don't care beyond the the volume measure of the spike, which is relative to yesterday's volume. I don't care. This doesn't matter to me anymore, right? The open interest, yesterday's volume doesn't matter to me at that point. So if you see 1,525 over here, it doesn't matter really at all to me, because I'm looking at volume. I want to know what's going to happen today, because yesterday's news is old news. The same thesis that made people trade 1,500 contracts at the 17.5 strike price on Macy's yesterday no longer holds any water. I want to know why all these new fresh orders are being placed by smart money at 1850. That's what I care about. And that's why you just want to look at volume. The scanner does the calculations of volume versus open interest for you. When you're looking on this, just focus on volume. Don't worry about open interest.
Good tip. So somebody's asking, why the big multiple orders on RIG yesterday didn't show up on the scanner, but you did have trades on rig, didn't you?
Yeah, we traded rig. One of them showed up on on that. It's another scanner I use. It's not on here today, but the other was another scanner I use.
Let's see. So somebody asked if they are holding overnight to avoid the day trading restrictions, when should they place trades? And I imagine they should get in as quickly as possible, and it's really the getting out that would change.
They should get in as quickly as possible. Yes. Getting out is the only variable that would change there. I mean, the quicker you get into where when the smart money is getting in, the more solidly aligned your trade thesis is going to be with what the smart money is doing. And
so
then,
if you set a target and you get out the same day, should they just basically get out at market the next morning, or how should they play the exits if they're doing not?
Well, it's good. It's up to you, right? I mean, you can. Are you okay with 70% overnight? Do you want to try and push it to get 100%? Right? It's up to your personal risk tolerance and what you're looking at. And that's why, if you are newer to trading, it's helpful to at least get the Telegram alerts, because I at least tell you one half of that trade. If you're holding overnight, and look, we held, and this is not just day trading. We closed out 3 trades this morning. They were all winners. They were all overnight. So you could have just followed me and gotten out when I got out if you wanted to overnight. But you also could have held on. And I don't even know some of our positions. Let's see. Well, you got rig. We got out of. I don't know what rig did, but if you'd held rig, let's see what would have happened.
I know you took profits on rig.
Yeah, we did. I mean, look, you probably got out a little later. If you got out a little later than me, you could have gotten more. We got out at like 9 something on rig, so you probably would have made a little better than me. But then if you had held, right, if you're not listening to me, you run the risk of basically just retracing your whole position on rig. So, it's up to you though. It's up to you. Scanner's your tool to use for your theses and execute the trade.
And you can play around with that and see, like, how do you do on the ones where you get out the next morning compared to how do you do on the ones you hold till expiration. You could, if you're in multiple contracts, you could get out of one contract the next morning and hold the other one and, do a comparison that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, you can play it however you want. For those that are asking about recordings, because this happens to be a combination session of both Alex's masterclass and Nathan and Graham's closing playbook, you could actually see this whole training again 2 places. Down below the presentation, there are a list of links. One of them is the latest replays of opening and closing playbook. So there will be a replay of this posted in the opening and closing playbook replay page later this evening. And then the recording will also go in Alex's members area as a class for members of the free ride scanner. So you'll be able to get this particular training in either place. Now, if you're looking for previous master classes, those are only going to be in the free ride scanner members area on one click.
Yep. And I see Cindy here to just illustrate this point. She held, so Cindy held Rigetti overnight, but she got flex. She held flex because of day trade. Okay, so she held both Rigetti and flex, and they both worked out. So, so she did 2 overnight trade. I didn't even actually trade flex. I just said people, hey, watch it, and then I was trading open, which is a crazy mover of a stock, and I had to focus on that a lot. And then I missed flex, and then by the time I saw it again, I was like, it's too far gone for me. But a lot of people
listen, folks. Sometimes a lot of people ask, "Hey, why didn't you get into this? Why didn't you get into that?" Sometimes it's just because he's busy. Like he can't get into every trade that comes up on the scanner, even all the trades he wants to get into, because he's busy doing webinars and trainings and doing other programs as well. So just because something doesn't come out in alert doesn't mean you shouldn't have gotten into it. He misses a lot of opportunities just because he's busy. Like a lot of people are busy. Can't get into every single trade. So he gets the ones out that he both thinks are really, really high conviction and that he had the time to look at and see and put into an alert. So just because it didn't go out in an alert doesn't mean it wasn't a good trade.
Exactly.
Or it doesn't mean that Alex looked at it and went, no.
Right. I can't get to all of them, man. There's a lot of, like, even this SMCI trade. Someone told me about it in Profit Panel. And I was like, ooh, I literally said this. If you were on Profit Panel, you remember this. I was like, oh, actually, I kind of like this trade, but we had to focus on trading the stuff for Profit Panel. I was like, I'm not going to be able to watch this effectively without focusing.
Yeah.
Today. So
for the people who are asking that have just gotten in and haven't really taken any trades yet or anything, for the ones that are asking about like the types of trades, none of these are spreads. These are all just simple option purchases. And I don't know if you want to get into why you're doing it that way instead of spreads. There's a question about that as well.
Oh yeah. So look, the directional option game is super, super hard. If you don't have a good reason for taking a regular call or a put, spreads give you more leeway, but I don't need to use spreads because I can trade cheaper. I mean, the average cost of these contracts we trade is like 88 cents. Some of them are like 3 cents, 6 cents.
Yeah.
And I just don't, you could use this scanner with spreads. And I mean, people are doing that. We've had people use this scanner for different trading approaches, whether it's selling, they see puts coming in, they want to pick up shares of it, they're going to sell a put. One of our dudes did that.
Yeah.
Some people have actually done spreads on it, using this. I got some stories of about people doing that, but like I don't do it. We get such big moves with this that like with a 502% on core weave overnight, you're not going to do that with the spread.
Yeah, that's the thing. With the spread, you protect yourself on cost a little bit, which, as you said, on many of these is just unnecessary because of the price. But you limit your upside, right? So on some of these, you could mimic the upside, right? Some of these you close out for a 10% win or a 20% win. You could theoretically get that with the spread, but you're never going to get the 300% wins. I shouldn't say never. It's a lot harder to use spreads and get, triple digit wins on a frequent basis.
Right. And again, you don't know which, I mean, you could use the contracts as sort of a anchor point for the spreads, but if you're doing that, if you're doing like the contract, it's not going to be that good. It's not going to be quite as good of a payout diagram for spreads.
Yeah. And look, for a lot of people that are in this room, because they're here from Closing Playbook and not specifically for the free ride thing, you're used to hearing Nathan and Graham primarily trade spreads, but they're the first ones to admit that one of the reasons they do that is just because of how difficult it is to pick and be correct directionally without a system like this one. And Alex is just one of the very few people who've come up with a system that's reliable to do that with. Normally you're lucky if you're 50-50 on those calls, and Alex is doing way better than that. So,
and I just had this John. So for instance, John, like Tesla, right? We see a ton of Tesla on the scanner today. He said the only time he did a spread with free ride scanner when Tesla came up on the scanner, too expensive to use regular calls or puts, made 40% in 60 minutes. I mean, dude,
you can't get mad at that either.
That's crazy, man.
Especially if you couldn't have afforded to take the trade to begin with. So it was like either you're out or you make 40% in an hour. It's like, I'll make the 40% in an hour.
Yeah, that's insane. Good job, dude. Good job.
Yeah. Way to mold it to what you needed it to be. But do keep in mind that if you do trade this in ways other than what Alex is, has designed it for and is training you to do, just know that your expectations should be different too, right? If you buy the stock instead of buy options, you're not going to have the leverage. You're going to have much smaller wins. If you do spreads instead of just the basic options, you're limiting your upside, and might be a little harder to pick your strikes and stuff like that. So look, you can do whatever you want. It's your money. It's your trade. Just know how it was designed, and that the stats that we're talking about are based on doing it that way, not based on doing it however you feel like doing it.
Yeah.
So there's a question here about, going to the downside, using puts when they're block orders for puts. Is that the same? Is it the same confidence in a put as it is in a call?
It's exactly the same.
Same. In other words, if the same blocks came up, does it matter whether they were puts or calls? Treat them the same way.
It works the exact same way. It's a key part of the markets. It works the exact same way. Don't worry. We're gonna in a second get more into the details here. You'll see why.
Yeah.
But again, it just twists the arm to the downside this time of extremely important people in the market to push the stock to where these flows are coming to.
Here's an interesting question. Obviously this clears out the data overnight so that each day we're looking at today's volume compared to yesterday's open interest and so on. wouldn't it be valuable, this is the question here, wouldn't it be valuable to know cumulatively 2 days worth of buying as opposed to just today's buying?
It might be. It might not be. I mean, Macy's went up. Macy's went. Let's look at Macy's. I mean, one day.
A few people have mentioned, and while you're just looking that up, just to answer, a few people have mentioned about like filtering. If you type in an M, it spits out anything that has an M in it or whatever. It's just, it's the way that it's trying to kind of autofill for you and find those things for you. It's just the way that it's designed to be able to kind of help you find anything with those letters in it. I'm not sure there's a better way to do it.
No, I mean, maybe, I don't know. Like the thing is with the single it only happens with the single letter tickers.
Yeah,
maybe I can talk to the devs and see if there's a better filtering mechanism that we can like. The space would basically truncate the search.
Yeah, I was just going to say a period or a space after or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, we can look into that. I mean, we're gonna, I want to, I'm sure there'll be improvements on this thing down the road. So we're taking all that feedback into account because a lot of people are using this. I don't even know how many. I think we have over 1,000 people using this right now.
Oh, we had over 1,000 by like day 2.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
lots
because we had just on Sunday, right, which was the weekend original launch day, we had 800. We had 800 just on Sunday. So by day 2, we were way over 1,000.
Yeah,
I mean, if you count just the people using the scanner, whether it's free or paid or whatever, regardless, just people using the scanner is well over 1,000. Yeah.
That's insane. So so we're getting a lot of feedback. Obviously, we want to take all of that into account, make it as good as we can for you all. Now we're getting like the user feedback. So we'll look into like truncating that. So if you type in M over here, you're not going to get any ticker with an M in it. You'll just get M, right? Oh look, we got some calls coming in late day on them. Maybe I'm gonna go up. But so that the reason let me just finish. Like the reason I don't again, yesterday's it's the same reason why yesterday's open interest, like I'm not really too concerned about it besides the volume spike over yesterday. But my thesis is like, what's smart money doing with their money today? 2 days ago, thesis could be completely changed. It doesn't. And then if we kept it all, I mean, we've had 414 hits today. We would have that. I mean, it would just be such a data drain. It would be so it's such a slog to get through. Maybe down the road, maybe that is something I can research if sequential days of increasing volume means anything. But to me,
that'd be interesting.
I don't know right now, and I don't care.
Yeah. So far, let's put it this way: we're doing really well without that data. Maybe one day we'll have that data, and it'll be helpful.
Yeah.
But we're doing really well without it. Here's one or two questions, if I can kind of rephrase to make one question out of it. On RIG, you had 2 trades simultaneously at different expirations or different strikes. I think they were different expirations. I think, right?
Yeah, that's because we saw that was a live trade. We went through the chain and we just saw some cool. Some cool like multiple opportunities on it. We were like going to go, and it was I said that on the stream. I was like on the profit panel. I was like, this is a fun little bonus trade. Let's see how it works.
Gotcha.
But it was still informed by this scanner, which you don't see. Rig was on there yesterday.
Yeah. So and this is not a derogatory statement. The username is Spaz. Spaz if you're seeing trades disappear quickly, it's probably because you're on that current tab at the top and not on the accumulated tab. You can just about ignore the current tab unless you want really like seconds advance notice on looking up a ticker. Very shortly after it shows up on current, it's going to move to accumulated, and you can just see them all there. If you really want to like to front run as far as possible, get as much early notice as possible, you can look at that current one, but then they're going to move to the accumulated tab. So most people are safe enough just using the accumulated tab. Yeah. But if they're disappearing on you, I'm pretty confident that's why.
That's why. Maybe I just remove that current tab too, because I don't even use it ever.
Yeah. All right. I'm still going through. I'm still behind about 20 questions here, but I don't know how long you want to go with the live questions.
Hey, I do. I want people to love this thing. I want the people who don't have it for free to start using it for free. I want the people who are using it for free. I think that we closed out 105% worth of gains total between all of our trades. It was like 6 of them though, but it's the 105% total today, this morning. So I think you should, if you haven't upgraded yet, you should. So go on as long as we need to.
For the couple of people that are having trouble either like pulling up the scanner or signing up for Telegram, they're just like a handful of people in the chat. I just posted the customer service telephone number in the chat. I'm going to pin it to the top of the chat. Call them. They're going to be able to help you with your specific issue of like why you're having trouble getting on Telegram or getting in the members area. Telegram probably has nothing to do with us, but the members area might, you might just not have gotten proper access assigned to your account or something like that. Contact customer service. They're open for another 25 minutes right now. And then of course they'll be back tomorrow morning. Yes, tomorrow, even though it's Saturday. So customer service, email and phone is open 6 days a week, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time, Monday through Saturday. So the customer service live Zoom calls that we do are only Monday through Friday. The 3 hours a day Zoom calls, those are only Monday through Friday, but email and phone support are Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5 Eastern time. So if you are having trouble just getting access to any of the things you think you should have access to, please contact them. They're the best ones to help you out, because if it's about just telling you how to do it, maybe we could figure that out for you. But if it's where you really just your account just didn't get the proper permissions or something like that, we wouldn't be able to do anything about it anyway. So contacting them will be your best source of help. Yeah. If you're getting errors or anything like that. But keep in mind, there are 2 different Telegram channels related to free ride. There's the scanner members area, has the Telegram that's the general Telegram about all things free ride. And then if you did upgrade to the alerts has its own Telegram channel that you get to from the alerts section of the members area. Very important distinction.
Absolutely.
All right.
I'm trying to see. So this week,
Lynette says, I haven't gotten a basic call or put that costs 2 or 3 cents yet. I mean, that is like the bare minimum it could possibly be. That's not going to be most of them, but they are going to be relatively cheap. Many of them are like, vast majority are under $1. Very many of them are under 50 cents, but aiming for 2 or 3 cents is kind of pushing the lower limit.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not saying we're going to get 1 cent options, but I'm saying these are cheap. So like 16 cents, 20 cents. I mean, the most expensive one we traded this week was Rigetti. That was a little more expensive, $2.51. But if you've been coming, I just, that if you have been following the streams, we've been talking about the government taking stakes in these quantum computing stocks again. That's why I was willing to do a little more expensive trade for that, because of the macro setup, really. And it was on the flows too, but also just because of the macro.
Yeah, Mitch is asking if you just do 3 to 5 trades, how's the best one to pick if you have limited cash? So don't take a real expensive one, because that's going to put you out of all the other trades. Yeah. There are plenty of cheap ones. And B, look for those ones that are blocks, where it's not just one alert, it's multiple alerts. I mean, if you're purposely, or whether you have no choice but to limit how many you get into, then you can be more selective, right? So only take the ones that are blocks, or only take the ones that Alex puts out in the alerts if you have the alerts. That's another good way to do it, because that'll be no more than 5 a day. So a couple different ways you can filter it there. Only take the ones you're familiar with, or only take the ones that are in a strong market. There are a lot of ways you could do it, but really, other market stuff, would you agree, Alex, like other market related criteria kind of doesn't matter? Like, who cares if there's news on it? Who cares if it's in a strong sector?
Dude, I have been so busy with these streams and trading this week to people, like sending out these alerts to people.
Yeah. I
come on Profit Panel and Jeff is like, SPY's up 3% today. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, cool. I haven't even looked at the general markets. I have CNBC open, but I don't actually see it on a chart. I'm like pulling up the chart of SPY and looking. I literally don't worry. I don't really even pay attention to news that much. I don't look at, I don't know. I want to. I mean, I want to do that, but I'm just saying, like, this week I've been so busy that I haven't.
This is a particularly different week for you with this program, and it being like so many people being in it, so many questions, so many courses and classes. So a couple more questions about exits. One is overnight the longest you would hold any of these trades? If
Yeah, I
you're
saw that question. I was going through so like the most I've held is 7 days, and that was a loser. So the most I've held a winner is 5 days. But
Okay.
but again, the thing is with these options, the vast majority have been intraday or overnight, because again, with options, again, folks, remember every time you open an option, whether you buy one, call or a put, it's decaying, it's losing value, which is why usually trading with directional options like calls and puts is such a losing proposition, because you have to be right on the direction plus the timing, and you have to have a really big move to overcome theta decay, which is the options losing value from time, in order to overcome that. So that's why if you hold 4 days, like the one we held for 5 days was a 6% winner, because it moved, but the theta ate away at it so much that we got out thankfully with the winner. But I hated it. I hated that trade. I don't say I hate. I try not to say I hate things, but it was an AEO trade. I had to watch that for 5 days. I was sick and tired of it by the time it got out. I didn't want to worry about it. I was so glad we got a winner on it, but it was a struggle. So that's why most of them are 0 to 1 days. I don't like holding positions mostly any longer than that. We had a 3-day winner here recently on Gap. That was 17%. But even that, I would rather just gotten out the next day.
And it also depends how far away, if the expiration is 2 weeks away and you hold it for 3 days, it's different than if you buy it on Tuesday and you hold it for 3 days and it expires that Friday.
Exactly.
So there are a lot of factors. There was another question about the exits where, I know you cover this in some of the training, but if it's gone against you, how quickly do you get out?
So I'm a laggy trader. My personal style, I tell everyone this, I've told this to a lot of people. I am a laggy trader. What does that mean? If you ever played poker, you might know what it means. But I trust the strategy. I trust my scanner. Again, we actually hit today 100 live trades. We're at an 86% win rate on this. So a good sample size, trading it for months, 100 trades. I trust this, and I trust that it'll work out. And I am willing to go down to go up. That's my personal that's my personal risk tolerance. That's who I am as a trader. That's not who you necessarily are as a trader. You have to think about that, the psychology of what you're willing to handle. And you can always don't set an automated stop loss, because the market makers will eat you out for that. They'll instantly they'll take it to that stop just to shake you out of the trade. Don't set that's why you really shouldn't set stop losses on options. But mentally though, you can be like, well, if I'm down 20%, I'm getting out. If you want that. If you're a little more risk tolerant, if I'm down 50%, I'll get out. Personally, I'm a laggy trader, so I tend to be more willing to go down because I do trust the strategy, and I know that over time it's been working out.
Yep. Chris asks whether you respond to email questions, and I can answer for you every single one. He responds to every single email he gets. I'm putting the support email in here. If it's a question you specifically want Alex to answer, you can put for Alex in the subject line. If it's a general question, don't do that. Just send in your question, and you'll get a faster response because Alex is busy, and we have 30 customer service reps, and one of them can get to you faster than Alex can. But if you want specifically for Alex to answer it, you can put that in the subject line, and he'll get to it.
Yeah. I absolutely respond. I have a lot of emails. I tried to get a chunk of them knocked out today. So you probably got a response to me. Some of you, I got about halfway through it this weekend. That's going to be I'm going to try and clear them out this weekend, start next week, but I do respond to every single one. So.
Yep. There was a question here that I scrolled past, and now I'm trying to remember. What was it? I don't know. Yeah.
I see. I see Susie saying laggy, but I call it stubborn. Yeah, Susie, I feel you there. Maybe that's another word for it.
Okay. Let's
There's
see.
also Bob is saying there is a tip sheet. So there is a tip sheet in the member portal. When you get in, you can print it out. It's like there's like a guide to starting. There's the video training modules, and there's also this little like quick tip sheet. I recommend printing it out, and wherever if you trade at a desk or something, if you have like a desktop, putting it above your desktop, like maybe on the wall, or like just next to you, because it runs you through basically my whole before I put on a trade, what I look for, and you can just run through that checklist real quick. It's like just a page, just like a little infographic. You can run through it real quick, run through the checklist, make sure it's all check, and then enter the trade.
Lynn said, so do you hold a loser till expiration? No, we're generally not holding it till expiration.
Yeah, generally not. Sometimes it just that, sometimes, but generally not. I mean, so I try and get out at, not a full total loss.
When, if they don't get in immediately, well, I guess it's hard to really know what immediately is, but how much movement on the price, either in the alert that you give or when it comes up in the scanner, how much movement off that price would you say is still within range to get into something? Because some of them, you're taking profit at 15% or 8% or whatever, and some of them 100%. So how do you know whether you should give up 2 or 1%, 2%, 3%, 5% on the entry price?
Well, it's up to you. I've had people. Okay, so sometimes I've had people. Abea is one that just always comes to mind because she has a full-time job. She's been doing great with this. She's been trading these since I started dropping them on my public Telegram channel. I have so many good stories from her about trades she's won, but a lot of them she has a full-time job. So she's like, "Hey, Alex, I got the trade alert. I didn't get it until later. I was in a meeting, and I got in, and I didn't get the 40% gain, but I got like 29% gain." Or sometimes she was like, "Hey, Alex, I was in a meeting and I missed the exit alert, but it all worked out because I got 50, she got like 79% winner, right?" So she actually did better than me. So again, I recommend, if you're on the alerts, it's better and you're trying to follow me as precisely as possible. It's better to enter and exit if you want to follow me as quickly as possible. But again, sometimes I'll enter a trade and I'll go move against me a little bit, and you'll get a better price for it. You actually get a better win than I do. So it just depends on what you want to do.
Yeah. Listen, it also depends on like what your risk. I mean, this is part of what you want to do, but a lot of it depends on your risk tolerance. Some people only want to get in trades that are going to have really, really high conviction. And so, and also have the maximum potential profit. So if it moves a little bit, they'd rather skip it. They'd rather be in 1 out of 3 trades that they feel they're most confident in. Some people want to be in as many trades as possible and have as much action as possible. That means you're going to take more risks to get in some of those other trades. They're really an individual question for all of you as to which ones you want to get in, and what kind of risk you're willing to take. Are you willing to give up a few percentage points on just before it even moves, just on getting in because the price moved? Or do you only want to be able to get in if you can get better than Alex's price? Like everybody's different. So it's a little bit on your risk tolerance.
And a good way to do it is
your desire to get into the trades. I do have a handful of private messages here. Let me see if there are any questions that I feel like we haven't answered yet. No, the alerts do not come with the free scanner. The 30 days free is just the scanner. You have to upgrade to the paid membership. Sorry, these are old questions at this point from the beginning of the session. But you have to get the paid membership to get the alerts.
Yes.
Bob G, hopefully we've answered your question about getting out. There's more training on it in the members area, in the training and in the master classes. A little bit is up to you. But if you're taking your own trades, I would say, generally speaking, just my own personal take on all the things I've heard Alex say, you're generally taking these for a 24-hour trade or less. You're generally taking it for overnight. Very few of them are you going to stay in more than that. You can try and eke out more profits if you want, but it's not always going to work out in your favor that you net more in the end, because you're going to have a lower win rate by holding it longer than if you get out when you know it's profitable. So are you shooting for 200% returns, but you only win 10% of the time? Is that better than winning 80% of the time and getting 50% returns? Like, I don't think it is. But, we don't know exactly what those numbers are because we're trading so many different tickers, so many different alerts. It's really hard to say you're better off doing this or doing that. We don't have quite that much data yet, but you can correct me if I'm wrong on any of that, Alex.
No, perfectly said. I don't have anything.
My summary of
Yeah.
my summary of asking you 10,000 questions so far.
You're an expert at this as much as me at this point.
Let's see.
So I have to go to Louis. I have to go watch Louis C.K. tonight. I know.
Yeah. Oh, are you going to see him live?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So I gotta head out here in a second. Any last minute questions?
Yeah. Let me see. Well, a bunch of compliments. We'll skip those because I'm sure you're tired of hearing them at this point. Yeah. So there are a couple here about like why specific things didn't show up in the scan or whatever. Go ahead and email Alex. He might be able to tell you at this point why they did or didn't. Go ahead and send him an email and he'll check it out. For those that are asking about how to get a hold of the scanner, we're going to give you an opportunity to do that in just a second. You have any closing thoughts there, Alex, before we do that?
No, I mean, folks, look, we're doing similar sessions like this all next week. We went through the testimonial channel. You saw the results with your own eye, literally with your own eyes. I love this thing. I think it's been really great for people. If you're not using it yet, I think you should try it out. And I hope you have a good weekend.
Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to get that loaded up here for us. It's going to take me just 1 second, and we will give you an opportunity to watch the full presentation on this, where he gives a lot more examples and goes into detail and things like that. And then you'll have an opportunity at the end of this to get in to the free 30 days and or upgrade to the paid membership that includes the alerts. But the link they gave me for that replay is coming up dead. So give me just a second here to find one that's actually working. And we will
folks,
do that.
and we've
if there are any other questions in there you want to get to, just give me 2 minutes, Alex.
Yeah, sure. Scanner alerts come so good. People ask this: are they mostly in the morning? Or are they mostly in the evening? It depends, or in the afternoon. It depends. I like trading in the morning just because I feel like that's when a lot of moves happen. But like for instance, that SMCI that I was showing you guys, that came in at 242, and that would have probably been a 30% winner or something. So it really depends, right? It's time agnostic. You can, that's what I'm saying. It's so cool. The scanner, you can use it whenever you want to trade. You can use it if you have something to do in the morning, can't get to the afternoon, that's okay. There's going to be flows coming up that you can get in on. Let's see. Yeah, Shay, this works. You don't need to have 25K to do this. Again, like I said, you can hold these overnight. Oftentimes, the gains we've held overnight have been our biggest ones. It's not 20% anymore; it's 200% or something, or even more. At times. Or yeah, you can use a cash account too. Let's see. I use TradingView. I don't know if someone's. Yeah, I use TradingView is my preferred charting platform. I do not like Thinkorswim. I still can't figure out how to manage it.
All right, I'm ready. Let's get this out to the people. Thanks so much, Alex, for being here, spending all this time answering all these questions. Have a great weekend, man.
Yeah, you too. Everybody else. Bye-bye.
Appreciate it. All right, more people.
We develop tools and strategies, software to the best of our ability. Nobody can guarantee the future. There's always a risk of loss when trading, and past performance is not indicative of future results. With that said, you're going to see some examples tonight. You're going to see a ton of examples. Each and every example is from live trades. We're not going to show you back-tested curve fit data here. Live trades that were shared with folks just like you. A lot of you guys here right now that were in the beta tester Telegram. Guys, get this. From July through October, the win rate, this was on nearly 100 signals. It may have been, I don't know the exact number, but we're pretty darn close. 85% win rate on live trades, 43% average winner, 26% average return. over a 1 day average hold time. Of course, there's bigger winners, smaller winners, there's losers too, but this is really, really good. Now, this has nothing to do with what you may have heard of before as free riding and withholding. That's a totally different thing. Today's phenomenon is totally separate, totally going to blow your mind. And free ride was the best name we could come up with to match it. Now, again, just to restate the obvious, there's going to be winners, there's going to be losers. We want to give you an edge. Never go all in on one position. Again, go to our homepage if you want more information on that. Now, my name is Graham Lindman, and tonight I want to start off with a question. What if you could throw out all your charts, click erase on all of those colorful drawings, never worry about a trend, financial statement, or technical analysis ever again? What if you could just ignore all of it and still have the opportunity to turn dirt cheap options contracts into what could be some massive paydays? Like here, 100% winner on Lulu with options that cost 68 cents to enter. How about here, 134% with options that cost 73 cents? Or here, 156% return on Oklo, starting with $1.58 a contract. Now, I know this may sound crazy, might even sound too good to be true, but according to my special guest, the lead options trader and coding expert for a $100+ million financial research firm, those returns aren't even that special, and they're definitely not out of the ordinary. In fact, he sees dozens of opportunities just like those every single day. Now, it's all thanks to a custom-coded option scanner that detects which contracts could be primed to make a double or triple-digit move. And it's not happening in a month, not happening in a week. Guys, these returns are happening in a matter of hours. Now, the way it works is quite simple. We just wait for the option details to pop up in the feed, and if we like what we see, we can click a few buttons on our brokerage to follow along, knowing that we have the chance to walk away with what could be a double or triple-digit payday only hours later. For example, let's take a look at AMD here. On July 29th at 10:21 a.m., AMD started lighting up on the scanner, meaning those exact options could have the potential to pay double or triple digits in a matter of hours. So anyone who took that trade, like my special guest personally did, every trade you'll see tonight he personally took, in this case, walked away with 52% on the basic call options by 10:44 a.m. Guys, that's a double-digit return in 23 minutes. So that would have been no different than watching $1,000 turn into $1,527 before your favorite TV show ended, or $2,500 into $3,818 before the morning cup of coffee got cold. You see, while most people try to make their trading as complex as possible, my guest just waits for a trade to pop up on a scanner and then buys the exact options contracts to tag along for what could be the next double or triple digit winner. And again, usually paying out in less than 24 hours. For example, July 29th here, pinged on FFAI, 23% return in 2 market hours. No one's going to complain about that. What about here? July 30th, pinged on IONQ, 19% return by 10:04 a.m. Then again, July 30th, that same exact day, guys, double dip in here. Here we go on NVIDIA right now, 111% within 24 hours. August 4th, all over American Eagle, 24% return in 45 minutes. Or August 6th, this time on Etsy, another beautiful 120% payout overnight. Now again, keep in mind, those trades were not from a back test. They weren't some theoretical could have, would have, or should have opportunity either. In fact, each and every example shared today is from real trades that my special guest took in real time with his own money on the line. Now, these are trades that he also shared in his public Telegram channel with over 2,000 people just like you. In fact, we're just a couple away from 3,000 beta testers in there right now who have been enjoying these wins in real time. Top people like Jason, who says, I was in at 25 cents, out at $1, made $750. David H. pulled 92%. He made $1,030 on SMCI. Rich M here made $1,655 on 30 contracts. Connor, I love this one. He made $2,000 this morning. Imagine that. Imagine it's not even lunchtime yet, and you've already got $2,000 in profits on one of these trades, and many, many more. Like I said, we've got like 25 pages already of stories just like these. Now, with real-time results like that, in dozens of stories, probably hundreds from folks all across the globe, I'm sure my guest could package this up in the new scanner and sell it for $10,000 or more. But today, we're going to do something totally different. We are going to give it to you for free. That's right. You did not read that wrong. We are going to give it to you for free. You won't have to pay a dime, not even a credit card required. That way, by the time this class is over, you'll be able to start using it right away to access the top opportunities already selected for you, targeting the next double or even triple digit return right from your standard brokerage account. So without further ado, everyone give a warm welcome to my special guest, options expert and programming specialist, Alex Reed. Alex, it's so great to have you down here, guys. He's a CEO and head trader. I love it. I love it. Alex, great to have you here. Thanks for flying in. Show us everything.
Yeah. So what's up, everyone? I see so many names. I know so many I don't. So good to see you all. It's really great to be here. I can't wait to give you access to this all new state-of-the-art options scanner tonight.